Hello and welcome back to another information-packed episode of Let's Talk Corinth. Today we're with, once again, our city engineer, George Marshall. Now, George, back in December, we talked about our big Agora project. And what I hope that we can do today is have some updates on some timelines and show everybody some renderings because the time's getting close.
Absolutely. We definitely had some timeline issues. We didn't get things designed quite as quickly as we wanted to, and we had some challenges with some of the bidding processes with the project. So we were hoping to be under construction by now, but we're not. However, I do have good things to say as we plan on hopefully breaking ground here July 22nd with moving heavy equipment in and doing all kinds of fun dirt work and that kind of stuff. I mentioned some of the bidding issues. We actually bid the streets part of the project initially, and we only received one bid, and unfortunately that bid did not include all the required legal documents, and so we had to throw that bid out, and then we rebid the project, which actually that's what the primary cause of the delay was. Luckily, we rebid the project and we received bids, and the project is about $800,000 less than that first bid, so we're extremely happy about that.
Good. So is that because construction's easing up? I know the first time they were they didn't have staff. And when we put a bid out, we don't say, hey, we think we can do this for $1 million. We just give them a scope of work and then we get 3 bids. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yeah. We have specifications. They've got to build X, Y, Z to this specification. We don't tell them how they have to build it. And it's just, the lowest bid, the lowest responsible bid. And as long as they meet the qualifications that are in the specifications, then we were able to move forward.
Sure.
So, yeah.
And that process is covered in state law.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. So we send the bids out. The lowest bidder wins the contract. The first time we only had one person submit a bid, but it wasn't an accurate bid. So
that's right.
We've redone it, and now we've got our 3 good bids, and the lowest price was $800,000 less.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Than what we were anticipating, essentially.
Exactly.
Wow, good for us.
Right. Especially in this time right now where prices fluctuate so crazy.
Right.
So with that timeline, we anticipate the park to actually, the duration of the construction would be about a year. So if we really get into heavy construction, August, September of this year, then we're probably looking at opening the park somewhere around September of 2023.
My goodness. So that leaves us with a groundbreaking possibly as early as May?
The grand opening?
Or the groundbreaking?
The groundbreaking would be here in July.
July. Okay, I'm sorry. Hey, we did this before. Groundbreaking in July, grand opening in May to September.
It's probably going to be September.
Okay.
Yeah, because of those timeline issues that we had,
Sure.
We had to push back that May deadline, unfortunately.
Okay. So you want to give us an idea of the type of developers that we can expect to see out there?
Yeah, so the city's partnered with 2 different residential mixed-use developers, and we're going to be working with Wolverine Investments, and they're going to be building a parking garage and a 5-story apartment complex with mixed use, about 30,000 square foot of retail restaurant facilities on the ground floor. And then across from Walton, the city's partnered with McCaslin Development, and they're going to be building a multifamily development over there. With phase 1 and 2, I believe it's somewhere over 600 units on that one. And then the Wolverine would be about 350 units. And some of the parking garage that's going to be built is actually they're going to be reserving spaces, about 150 spaces for the city, the public to be able to use during our events and that kind of stuff.
Right, like our big pumpkin paloozas and stuff like that.
Right, when we have movies in the park, when we have events at the park, all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah.
So do you have updated design features?
Yeah, so we've worked hard. I think last time we met, we didn't have a detailed design on the playground. I kind of brushed over that, right? Well, we've hammered out the playground, and I think we're getting one of the best playgrounds that we're going to have here in Corinth. It's very bold and beautiful colors, we think, and I got to thank our public works and park staff because they helped work directly with the manufacturer and say, hey, we want this type of product and so forth. And so there's we're providing a lot of shade with the park structure, and then also just a lot of different features, some really cool, neat slides that personally I can't wait to go down.
Right. So are there any other updates that you have for us on Agora? I know that we're going to be splashing a lot of pictures, some of these unique design elements. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, the only other thing I can probably note is that we had to adjust some things. That was the little piece of design that took us a little bit longer. Was after we got further into design, our environmental company came back and told us, hey, you're going to have to apply for a 404 permit, and you're exceeding the allowed impediments to the water course. And so with that, we've adjusted where the splash pad is and so forth. So moving that a little bit further north, shifting some things around so that we're having a less impact on that waters of the U.S. in there. So, but that's really there was a lot of discussion whether or not the budget could support the boardwalk, and we were able to get everything working, and we're going to keep the boardwalk in the plans. We have some lights that are going to go up in the trees. They call them teardrop lights and so forth.
Really?
So, yeah, it's pretty neat project.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. So these are lights hanging down in the trees that look like teardrops?
Yeah, there's.
Wow. And there's going to be still the art project out there eventually at some point, but there'll be a place for it.
Yeah, we still have the place. We have a beautiful sign for Agora. Just think big letters. I'm sure you got a picture of
Sure.
that. So
this will be, our ultimate vision was this to be a place for community and a place of gathering. It sounds like we're still hitting on all cylinders when it comes to that.
Absolutely.
So George, where we sit today versus when we see dirt starting to move, can you give us an idea of that timeline?
Yeah, so council awarded the project July 7th of this year, and we're gonna have our groundbreaking, as I said, on July 22nd in the morning before it gets too hot, and then that's just the ceremonial groundbreaking, and then we'll start seeing heavy equipment and so forth move in shortly after that.
So George, do you have any other information on the specific contractors that are involved in helping us put the streets and some of the drainage in?
Yeah, absolutely. So the low bid that we received was DDM Construction. So they're local to North Texas, and from what I've heard, they're a good contracting company. They can definitely perform the work, and we have inspectors to make sure that they'll be doing everything right. In addition to DDM, we're going to have the park contractor that's building the stage and the playground and all those various water features and so forth. They're going to be working simultaneously together. And so that's actually Burn Construction. They're the construction manager at risk, and we awarded their contract, the design, the initial part of their contract last summer, at the beginning of the summer. And here at the July 7th meeting, council has awarded the guaranteed maximum price. So with those two contractors, they'll be working simultaneously on top of each other, around each other, and it's up to us to make sure everything works out.
Everything
together.
flows.
Absolutely.
So George, I wanted to take a minute to thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And for everybody else that has joined us today, thank you for taking time out of your day and watching this podcast. This is a major way how we get information out. If you've got more questions and you would like to look this stuff up online, please go to mycorinth.com/Agora. We'll put a bunch of information down below in the comments. And whether you're watching this on Facebook or on YouTube, please remember to leave us a comment. We monitor those, and that's a big part of how we come up with content for this podcast. So until then, let's talk Corinth.